Hey, welcome to Mahogany Sweets. Hit that subscribe button. I am here to come to y'all and break down the dynamics between Pepa, Sam, Egypt, and Tete. This is the way I see it. I have no proof other than my own understanding, my own wisdom and experiences to be able to validate this story. I'm going to put it like that. Let's get to it though. We're going to start with Pepa. Okay? Pepa is a 40-something-year-old woman who has paid for love and affection, i.e. dick, pretty much her entire life. Pepa has low self-esteem, which is why she has a low standard for men and willing to buy them. And she told us what her standard was for men, which is just don't be physically abusive. Now, the sad thing about that is Sam has the potential to be an abuser. And I will get into that in a second, but let me finish with Pep. So, since Pep has paid for dick her entire life, she has no problem buying it for her daughter, her baby girl, Egypt. Her baby girl went and picked out the bum-ass 2018 collection of men, which was Sam, and her mom said fine. And Pepa got a 2-for-1 because Pepa said not only can he make my daughter happy and give her dick, but he can also be a male presence and butter me up as well, which is what is taking place. So, we ain't got through that. The reason why Pep will buy this, buy her daughter's engagement ring, by giving him $5,000 to buy the ring, and knowing that he pocketed $4,100 of it and only gave the little girl a $900 ring. And the reason why she is paying for a roof over his head and giving him her connects for his career, even though he first came in under the premise of he's going to aid Egypt in being a better artist for her career, but now Egypt and Pepa is enlisted in furthering his, is because this is the price Pepa is willing to pay for him to keep up his end of the bargain of keeping her daughter dick down and happy, and keeping her happy by being a male presence in her life and buttering her up as well. Okay? That's just the truth about it. That's how I see it. That's what it looks like to me. Now let's get on to Sam. Sam is a user, and like I said, has the potential to be an abuser, is because he is showing all the classic signs of that. He came in as someone who was supposedly going to help aid Egypt in her career. Now he has flipped it to where he got Egypt and her mama aiding his career. Classic manipulation, okay? Classic womanizer. A man comes in as he's going to be your builder-upper. He's going to be your knight in shining armor, and then you turn around and look up and you're like, God damn, I'm taking care of him, and it's all about him. That's what classic narcissistic abusive men do. They turn it all into him. They draw you in by making you feel like, oh, they love you and want to do the most for you. And by the end of the day, you're the one loving them and doing the most for them. The other signs of him being a classic abuser is what men do who are abusive is they isolate you from other people. And those people who see through your bullshit can call it out. They're going to isolate you from them. They're going to try and put a rift and break that connection of that relationship. They are going to remove the people from out of your circle that will protect you, will tell you the truth, and will want better for you. Classic one-on-one behavior of an abusive man. Tete is clearly that. She sees through his bullshit. She's trying to get Egypt away from him. So what did he do? He went and used manipulation and put a rift between them by telling young, naive, in love Egypt, she wants me, she wish she was you, she's jealous of you. And then Egypt is soaking it up. Yeah, you're so great that she wants you. She's jealous of me and wish she was me so she could have you too. Boom. Cause that rift. And as we see, he does this repeatedly. That's the other reason why I feel that this is true, because he's showing several signs of this type of behavior. And then with this specific method that men who are abusive use, which is pitting you between other women and stating that they're jealous and want him, he did the same thing with Brianna. When Brianna had a problem with him, he immediately went to Egypt with the "she wants me" line. She wants me and she's mad she can't have me line. not only that, so he's done made the relationship all about him. He's getting a free ride. They are doing everything to assist him with his career, and now they're even doing everything to protect him from the Tete situation, of her confronting him and dealing with that. He's playing victim. They need to protect him, and that's another thing that these abusive men do, right? How he got them to probably fund his career, although he was supposed to have been helping theirs, is, oh, you know, if I just had more help with my career, I'll really be able to take care of you. You know, it's a man's job to take care of a woman. We need to make sure I get on my feet. I don't feel like a man without being able to take care of you. If you're supposed to love me, you're supposed to support me in my dreams. It's just all about you. You being selfish, even though it's really them being selfish. They're manipulating, and then you turn around and oh no, I love you. It's not all about me. See, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna prove it to you. Or he probably even said that, prove it then. If it ain't all just about you, help me then with my career. And then there you go. Egypt and Pepa said, we help him with his career because we going to be the beneficiaries once it pop off. Let him go first. Let him be the man and go first and get the money first. And then he can come back and help Egypt with her career. That's pretty much what they're doing. Well, and what he has coaxed them into doing. Right? So, like I said, abusive men, they're going to isolate you from those who can see through the bullshit. And then, one of the great things that Angela brought up tonight, which I was going to make a separate video about it, but I'm not, since it actually applies to this, in reference to what I want to speak on about Sam. Abuse is not always physical. And it never really ever starts physical first. Abuse is always mental and emotional first. Depending on how low your self-esteem is ahead of time, depends on how much work they need to do. They might be able to go into just battering you if you already have mentally, emotionally been battered down and have low self-esteem, which men prey on women who have low self-esteem. The abusive ones do. But if you don't have such low self-esteem, then they work on that first. They begin to mentally and emotionally start devaluing you, making you question yourself and your own self-worth, and if you're good enough. And then you, as a victim who has been worn down with that, will begin to look at it and think, right, now your life becomes focused on trying to make him happy and trying to make yourself good enough in his eyesight, which is how a narcissistic, abusive man can make it all about him to where you're aiding his career when he was supposed to be aiding yours. And they draw you in first with these fairy tales of grandeur and of love, to where they start off with making you feel like you're their world. And then by the end of the day, they wear your ass down to where now they have become your world. And they have made you so consumed with them that is all that matters. You start doing stuff like forgetting about your own career and aiding them in theirs. The other thing that these men do is, after, some men will just leave it at that. And which is what Angela was saying. All abuse is not just physical. Some will just mentally and verbally abuse you for the rest of your life, if possible. And the other reason why this is so important, what Angela stated, is because you can be being mentally and emotionally abused, and it doesn't even have to be in a romantic relationship. You can have your boss mentally and emotionally abusing you by making you feel like your work is never good enough. You don't deserve your position. You don't deserve a raise or a promotion. They never acknowledge or giving you reward for how well you're doing, to where you start devaluing yourself on, oh, am I really good at my job? And now you're just grateful to even have a job because they've made you feel like you are so inadequate that you're not even looking for the promotion or the raise that you should be getting, because now they have devalued you to the point to where you are willing to just accept that you have a job, and you're grateful for just having a job when you don't even realize you should be partner. You know what I'm saying? Or you should have been promoted 2 times by now. Parents can emotionally and mentally abuse their children and make their children feel inadequate, feel useless, feel like they don't add up or aren't proud of them in any type of way. So mental and emotional abuse is not just a romantic relationship, and mental and emotional abuse is abuse, okay? And please do research on it. Please study up on it, the telltale signs of it, the red flags to watch out for, so you don't even end up in it, and escape routes, because guess what, you are important, you are worthy, and you are more than enough. And whether this boss or this parent or this man or woman can see it, don't mean it ain't there. They are just manipulating you, using you, brainwashing you so they can use you at their dispense, and you can be their personal, or should I say, so they can be your personal God, because that's what abusers do. You turn around and you end up being consumed with trying to please them at all costs, while they treat you as if it's never good enough. So you're constantly trying to obtain something, and it's all just so they don't have to do any work, and you're doing all the work on their behalf, which he takes me as being that type of person, Sam. And then it later turns abusive to where they are hitting you. They're controlling you. They're taking everything from you. Stuff like that. So please, please, please beware of that and do research. I commend Angela for opening up her story and speaking on that, and stating that key phrase, because another thing she mentioned was that she felt like, oh, no one else will want me. That's another thing. Since they wear down your self-esteem so much, that's what you begin to think is, damn, nobody else will want me. I need to just be happy that they're here. No, please, 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 I beg of you, do not fall for that. Please get out, seek help, and realize that it's all a lie. Everything that man or woman been telling you is all a lie. Don't believe that. And you deserve better, and you can have better the minute that you walk out that door. Okay, so now let's get back into it. So, let's get with this Tete thing. Now, at first I was thinking to myself, like, how would Pepa believe that Tete actually want this boy? But then some interesting facts came out. Pepa stated, like, well, Tete, Egypt told you that she wasn't comfortable with you dressing half nude, basically, around him, and you continue to do so. I do find an issue with that with Tete. Which this doesn't mean that she wants him, but I do find an issue with that. It was wrong and inappropriate, because as a woman, you're living with a man that is not yours, or there's a man visiting, or you're going out to visit someone's home, and there's a man there that is not yours. To me, you were supposed to take into account of being covered up. You know what I'm saying? If you're not at a beach, you shouldn't have just a bra on and some hot shorts. You ain't at home by yourself. You don't go and visit a man's household where there is a man there, or you don't invite guests over, allow someone to come over, and there's going to be a man that's not yours there, and you dress like that. Because I personally look at it like this: if I decide to dress like that, then right, I'm advertising something. I'm seeking attention. You shouldn't be seeking attention from men who you know are taken, especially not your sister, niece, or whoever's man. So I find issue with that, and she necessarily wasn't trying to seek him. Some people have a different level of comfortability in how they dress around certain people, or not. Cool. But once it was brought to your attention that Egypt had a problem with the way you were dressed, it should have changed immediately. And now, since it didn't, that helped him. That aided Sam in being able to tell this lie and make people believe it off of that. Because I just feel that's a no-go. If I'm going to a certain place and I know it's married men there, no, I'm going to dress in a respectful manner, because I don't want them looking at me. These are married men. These are my family members' spouses or whatever. I'm not interested in them, and I don't want them looking at me in that way, and I don't want to expose myself to them in that way. So I'm going to dress appropriately. So I personally feel that, yes, she was wrong for that, and I believe that Pepa was right for telling her that. Like, you shouldn't have been dressed like that, especially once she told you she was uncomfortable with it. So that was Tete not only disrespecting Egypt as being her niece, cousin, or whoever she is to her friend, but now you're disrespecting the relationship between them two and your own relationship with her. So I looked at that like, okay, that was information we didn't have before to know. Then the conversation carries on, and it goes to, she's basically having flirty behavior with him. She's leaning on him, hugging on him, this, that, and the other. And I looked at that iffy, because if you supposedly don't want Egypt with this man, he's a trash-ass man. Even if you were coming to a place where you're like, well, I'm going to try and be cordial, I'm going to try and be friendly, what would make you go to that extreme to go from, you shouldn't be wearing me trash, to, oh, hey, buddy, da, da, da. No. So I looked at that as, okay, that's a red flag. They got you on that too, Tete, because why would you be doing that on a person you don't like? You could have still said, okay, I'm going to begin to try and be cordial without being that close. Like, that's how you would entreat the guy if he was someone who you feel was a good match for her, not someone who you feel absolutely wasn't. I wouldn't be close up, all hugging on you, hanging on you, like, yeah, what's up, my friend? No, it would be simple, like, hey, what's up? Like, we can have a conversation on that, but it would never be, and I would never fake and pretend to like you that much, like, oh, I never told this girl she should never be with you. Like, that was just weird and strange to me, so I understand them calling her out on that. That also aided him in being able to say she really wants me for herself, because you're sitting here telling this girl she shouldn't be with him, but then yet you're hanging all over him like he your best friend in the world. No, you can't have it both ways. So that had me looking like, maybe there is some validity, you know? Maybe it's not. But either way, that was a bad look for her to do both those things. But then we get deeper into the episode, and when Egypt and Tete was having a conversation about it, Egypt said, well, you do know where that came from, right? Or why that started, right? And referencing why Sam and her believed that she wanted him, or at least put the story out that Tete wanted him and was in love with him. And then Egypt says, oh, it was about the bank account thing. And they flash back to Tete stating to Egypt that Sam had a negative $300 bank account balance. Okay, so basically saying that he's broke. And the ship's like, that's Egypt. So like, that's a man's manhood making him feel less than a man. And I'm blown away. Like, are you serious? Because now it sounds like to me, Egypt, that you're making a confession that y'all made up this story and lied on her, all because y'all were mad and wanted to retaliate for her telling the world basically that he was broke. Everyone already knew he was broke. Like, that wasn't no secret. That was pretty obvious, because he was living in a home that your mother is paying for. Because she's paying for your dick, and she's paying for her to have a male presence around her as well. Like, that was obvious. So then I was confused about that. So it's like it's too many moving parts going on in this little dynamic between them four, because they begin giving valid reasons of why Sam would say that she liked him and why Egypt and Pepa would believe it. But then Egypt just comes and opens it up and says, oh, we just said that because you said he was broke. I'm like, this is a hot ass mess. But anyway, if Tete's intentions were pure, then I do feel bad for her that they're trying to make it seem like she's jealous of Egypt and wants Sam. But with the information that they gave about the dressing nude around him basically, and the being clingy, hanging over him like he's a best friend or someone who she would accept in the family, they gave valid points. But the true and only victim in this situation is Egypt, due to the fact she's none the wiser that her mom is buying her dick, and that they have an unspoken agreement that he is to dick her down and make her happiness and be a male presence for Pepa. Because trust me, Peppa's not just paying for Egypt dick herself. She's being overprotective over that, because he has to be aiding something into her too. He has to be stroking or boosting something for Pepa too. And so I'm personally looking at it as that is a male presence being around who is buttering her up as well. Which you would think that she has her son for that, but I don't know. I don't know if Tehran lives with her or not, but it's something that's drawn Pepa into doing that. It could just be the love of her daughter, where she's right, like, I'm bought and paid for me love, dick, and affection. My daughter deserves to have love, dick, and affection. I'm going to pay for it for her too, or what. But Pepa is knowingly being used. We were right, she ain't the one being used. Pepa is knowingly in an agreement with Sam that she will fund him and help aid his career and give him her industry contacts and all that, as long as he is keeping Egypt happy and dicking her down. And Sam is aware that that's what he is supposed to do. Keep her happy and keep dicking her down, and the money will keep on coming. But to me, Pepa still should check them. Like, no, if I gave you the $5K for her ring, the whole $5K should have been spent on a ring. You don't go and buy her a damn $900 ring and pocket 40, 100 of it. But that's what a slime by user man will do. And then I bet you should probably turn around, if Pepa did ask him about that, he probably told her like, well, oh, I bought the $900 ring because, you know, I wanted to buy her a couple of gifts to go with it, or I wanted to take her on a romantic dinner when he probably came up with some reason to try and justify a weak-ass excuse of why he pocketed $4,100 of it. And Pep probably was like, oh, fine, fuck it. That's what I think. But it ain't no way in hell. That is my thoughts on this entire situation. Please let me know yours down in the comments and hit that subscribe button.